Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of RV Tips and Trips. Today I want to talk to you about how we get our internet service as we travel all around the country. Stay tuned, don't go away. Alright, so let's face it. There is not going to be any one service that's going to be good enough to work everywhere that you're going to go to when you are traveling on the road like we do. So we use a couple of different services. Of course, we have the Verizon Mifi. It's a prepaid system that we're on, which we got some time ago and we were grandfathered in because that plan went away. It was $65 a month for unlimited data. So but that plan is gone. You can still get the Mifi and you can get a plan for it, but it's not as good as what we currently have. We also have our cell phones that we use as hotspots, and that's with Visible. We have 2 lines of service. With Visible, we're paying $25 a month. Now the neat thing with the Visible service is that you, if you have 4 lines of service, and it could be with other people, then you pay $25 a line. They create these things called groups, and we have an RV Tips and Trips group, and so we have one of my subscribers hooked up with us. So they get their own separate bills. Each line gets its own separate bill, and you pay it monthly. So we're all paying $25 a line as a result. The maximum that you can have on a group is 4. Now, your phone on the Visible service can create a hotspot, but it only allows 1 device to be hooked up to it. So I use that in a pinch, because sometimes the Visible works better than the Mifi in certain places. It depends on what's going on with the tower at the time and the order of priorities that they have set up. Because, as you know, they can scale back your data speeds based on traffic flow. So sometimes I've been slowed down on the Mifi, switch over to the Visible, and I've been able to get some pretty good speeds that way. Now Visible is part of the Verizon network, so it is a very large network. It's the same network that we're using on with the Mifi, but the Visible only works on Verizon cell towers. It does not roam like the Mifi can. So, but like I said, sometimes the Visible is a good alternative. If my speeds are a little slow on the Mifi, sometimes they're faster on the Visible data. When I say you can only connect 1 device at a time, we have 2 phones, so we can connect 2 devices. So sometimes that works out really well. Then the other alternative is when we go to RV parks, that we connect with the Wi-Fi service at the park. Now, of course, we stay almost exclusively at Thousand Trails parks and Encore parks, and they have a couple of different services. Java is one. I forget what the others are, but there's a couple of different ones, and I've overall had good results with it. I've seen a lot of people complain about the speeds, but right now we're at Natchez Trace, and let's face it, our cell signal here is really bad throughout this park. There's just no cell towers close by, so we're using the Wi-Fi here, and it's $15 a week. That's reasonable, and it's working pretty good. One of the other parks that we just recently used the Wi-Fi network there was Green Mountain, which is a Thousand Trails park. We paid $8 a day, They were a little pricey, but we were there just 4 days, so I used the per day charge instead of the weekly charge, because the weekly was like 40 bucks, crazy. So I paid $8 a day for the 4 days that we were there. But very good speeds. We've been able to watch ultra high definition TV at most of these places that we've paid extra to use the Wi-Fi. So we fill in some places by using the Wi-Fi network that's available as a paid service at the RV parks that we stay at, which is pretty, like I said, most of our experiences have been pretty good. We've had good results at Peace River down in Florida. Green Mountain worked extremely well. Some of the speeds were just outrageously fast. It works pretty okay here at Natchez Trace. So I said it's a lot cheaper to use those as a fill-in instead of taking on another service, is what I'm driving at here. I mean, I don't want to be spending $200 or $300 a month every month by using alternative services like AT&T and T-Mobile and all that, when I can fill in the gaps with the Wi-Fi services that are available at the RV parks. Sometimes, people have complaints about the Wi-Fi that's available at these parks, that they're unreliable and so on and so forth, and they had trouble with their speeds and that. One reason possibly that people give these campground Wi-Fi hotspots a bad name is because maybe they are not selecting the right antenna from the park. These antennas for the Wi-Fi systems are scattered throughout the park, and there's usually quite a few of them, and you'll see them every so many spaces down the line because they have a very short range. And they all transmit and receive signals via Wi-Fi, but they, if you have the wrong antenna selected, like one that's kind of far away from where you are, giving you a weak signal, then your reliability and performance is going to go way down. So you need to select the correct antenna that's closest to your campsite. So the way to do that is when you go onto your Wi-Fi on your computer or on your handheld device, you'll see a whole list of all the available Wi-Fi hotspots. And it may say Camp Link and then a number after it, Camp Link 48 and Camp Link number 56 or whatever. And you'll see the signal strength on each one, because there's a little graphical representation, or there should be, on your phone or on your computer that shows the signal strength, the relative signal strength coming from that particular antenna. So you select the strongest one, and then that's the one that you're going to connect to. The other situation is maybe you're kind of far away from any of the antennas, and the signal that you're picking up is kind of weak, which makes it unreliable and slows your speeds way down. What I use in those situations, I have a Wi-Fi extender. They're not terribly expensive. You don't have to go all out and get these big ass ones with the, with the big antennas and spend about $400, $500 on a Wi-Fi booster or cell booster. There's a relatively inexpensive one that I use. It's by Netgear. It has 2 different frequency bands, 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. And those receivers that are built into that tend to be a little more sensitive than what your computer is or what your cell phone is. And so they're easy to set up. And what it does is it takes the signal that's being transmitted and it amplifies it and retransmits it on another frequency. And it will say Netgear Extender 2.4 or 2.5, whatever the frequency is, band. And so it'll say like Camp Link, whatever, Netgear extended 2.5. So that's your extender. So they're easy to set up. I'm not going to go through how to set it up, but you can achieve optimal speeds with it if you select where it only works off of one frequency band instead of two, because they're all dual bands. So if you select only one, then it will give you an optimal speed. When you split it up between two bands, it tends to slow things down. There's a thing called wave propagation delay times, and that's what the more circuitry involved, the slower the speeds become. But so suffice it to say, just select it so it only operates on one band, whichever band your devices tend to work on. Most devices, I think, will work on either band anymore. The old frequency band was the 2.5 gigahertz band. So select that and disable the 5 gigahertz one, and we'll also optimize the speeds. I'll give you a link to the Netgear device that I'm using, and like I said, you know, under 50 bucks. You don't have to spend any more than that, and that will work. All right, so hey, if you got any good information out of this video and find it very helpful, why don't you subscribe to my channel and click that bell icon so you'll get notified every time that I put out a new video. Also, don't forget to make a comment and give me a thumbs up too. That helps my channel out quite a bit. All right, so until next time, happy camping. Bye now. Thomas says thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like and share. Until next time, happy camping.